Okay, welcome to EE201. My name is Hiren Trada. I'm a professor, well, I'm a lecturer in the electrical engineering department. Your section 04, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. All right, let's see. How many of you have been to the Canvas website and looked at the syllabus? Overwhelming, a lot of information in there. Could spend hours and hours on there. Let's see. A little bit about myself. I am originally from India. I did my undergrad. I have a technical diploma and undergraduate degrees in electronics and telecommunication engineering from India. I first started in 1992, more than 30 years ago. I came to the US in August of 2000 for graduate studies. University of Louisville. Anyone know where that is? Louisville, Kentucky, very far away from here, a whole different world. If you follow college sports, you know all the scandals they've been, mired in. Big fan of Teddy Bridgewater and Lamar Jackson. Go Ravens. I know a lot of you might be like 49ers fans here. Let's see, what else? So again, my undergraduate degrees were electronics and telecommunication. When I first came to the US, one of the first classes I sat in was MEMS and microfabrication. Okay, that is about semiconductor chip manufacturing. This was in August of 2000. And I just fell in love with it, if you want to call it that. And I've been in that field ever since for more than 20 years. And so I did my master's research in there. I did my doctorate and my postdoc. Everything was in microfabrication, nanofabrication, and MEMS, which is basically semiconductor chip fabrication. So I've been in that field for more than 20 years. I've been teaching classes for circuits, electronics, as well as teaching students how to build their own microchip. We do that inside a clean room. As anybody, and Cal Poly has a clean room. Anybody in here seen that clean room? There's a couple of students in there. The director of that clean room facility, semiconductor fabrication facility, is a mechanical engineering professor, Dr. Hans Meyer. If you may have taken a class with him, he's the director of that facility. And then Ben Hawkins, he's a dual faculty appointment in biomed as well as electrical engineering. He's the assistant director. They both have decades of experience working in that field. The class is taught once a year in winter. So I have taught that class in conjunction with with both of them. I'm not teaching it right now. There is a reason for that. I'll get to it in just a little bit. But anyway, that was just a little bit of plug about semiconductor chip fabrication. So if that's the direction you want to go in, there's an option at Cal Poly if you want to do so. As I mentioned, I'm originally from India. So when I first came in, I came on a student visa. This was 2000, 23 years ago, and I'm still on a visa. Why do you ask? Why? You would ask, right? Because there is no pathway for me to apply for permanent residency. That's how the system is messed up. Anyway, so I've been on a student visa. Then I was a researcher at UCSB for about 18 months. I did my postdoc there. I was a research scientist there for a little while. Some of the smartest people that I've ever met. And then I came to Cal Poly September 2018. In April of 2022, my visa ended. I knew about it in advance because when you apply for the visa, it's 5 years. I knew 5 years ago when I first got that visa, the J1 visa, that it's going to expire. So I applied for a transition, which is paperwork that we need to do. That paperwork typically takes a month and a half. Then it took like more than several months. And so I've been out of the country since April of 2022. I just arrived back on a new visa on the 30th, 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm still kind of jet lagged. My apartment's not yet ready, so I'm living out of my suitcases in a motel room. And I have a toddler. They're trying to keep him occupied with all his energy in a tiny motel room. So yeah, hence my clothes and hence my disarray. Anyway, so that's enough about me. I love teaching this class. I've done this at Louisville and I've done this at Cal Poly. I love teaching electrical engineering to non-EE majors. All teaching is always a challenge, but trying to teach a topic to someone who's not in your field is it's a challenge that I accept. I really like doing it. So I've been doing it every quarter that I've been at Cal Poly. Next quarter is the only time where I won't teach this class. But again, so I have several years experience trying to do this, and I have several years experience doing it specifically at Cal Poly. Let's see. Let's get to the syllabus. Okay. Now you are in section 4, section 04. I teach 3 sections back to back to back. The reason is the setup that I do, the writing tablet, as well as, see this wireless microphone and everything takes me a long time to set up. A long time, it's about 10 to 15 minutes, if everything goes well. So I cannot do this if I'm going to take a break and, go to a different classroom. It's not possible for me. So I always prefer teaching back to back to back. So I teach from 9 to 10, 10 to 11, and 11 to 12. All 3 of them this quarter are the exact same. Canvas, just the way it's designed, it's not in our hands, not in Cal Poly's hands. It's the actual company that, that has developed Canvas. For some reason, the merge shell cannot have the section name. So you are section 04. But what you would see in your Canvas at your end is this 02. Okay, just because of the way Canvas is designed. It's a merged shell of all 3 courses together. So everything is in one place. And there's a reason for that. I keep everything so it's flexible for students. Right? It makes my work a little easier too, in some ways. So again, it's the same Canvas website for you for all 3 of my sections, 2, 3, and 4. There's Zoom passcodes listed right there for easy access. The Zoom meetings can be accessed on the left. You can attend. Excuse me. You can attend any of the classes anytime you want, and we'll get into it once we open up the syllabus. Now, my syllabus, my entire Canvas course itself has a lot of information. There's a ton of things going on. Syllabus itself is more like a EULA. It's like an end user license agreement that runs into several pages. But there is a reason for that. Everything needs to be outlined. Okay. In the past, I've had issues where, from past experience, where students come and tell us, why did I not get points for this? Why is this? You never mentioned this at the beginning of the quarter. You never informed us about these things. So we have to have it in writing. So the syllabus reads more like a legal agreement for that specific reason. Everything has to be outlined. If something is not outlined, student can come up and say, you did not tell us this is not the expectation I had at the beginning of the quarter. And hence the very long, the very long syllabus. Now, if you open this website on your smartphones, you would not see this front page. Okay, it's a page, so you would not see this front page because most professors would do modules. So you would go into announcements. Announcements is so if you open up the app on your smartphone, announcement is the first tab on there. And in announcements, you go to front page link for mobile devices, and you click on this front page link. It will take you to this front page. Okay, everything else will work fine. You can go into assignments and syllabus and everything because I use the actual syllabus module in there, and so you'd be able to see this also as tabs, okay, individual tabs. But just the front page, you will not be able to access it without this link. All right, communication and office hours. The first communication policy is preferred method is to use Canvas inbox. Easy enough. You go into Canvas, you select the course, and you just send me a message. I'm not a millennial, but I still have my smartphone at me at all times. I'd be able to answer all emails, messages promptly. Right now, again, I'm teaching a class, but between the breaks, if students send me an email, I can respond to emails during the breaks that I have between classes. Okay, Canvas is the easiest way to get in touch with me. Second easiest, of course, email. Several of you have already emailed me. htrot@calpoly.edu. Easy enough, but 2 things to keep in mind. If you are contacting faculty and staff at Cal Poly, you need to use your official Cal Poly email addresses. There are 2 reasons why. The first one is that sometimes emails from personal email addresses like Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail, I still have one of those. I still use Hotmail. Can be sent to the spam folder. Even if you have communicated using that personal email in the past, a word might trigger the spam filter, for some reason we don't know why, but a specific word or a file or something get triggered, and your email, which you have used in the past, could also get sent to spam. That's one reason. If you don't hear back from me in 24 hours, you send me an email from your official Cal Poly ID. Second, more important reason is your Cal Poly IDs are officially verified and tied to you, and only you should have access to those. Otherwise, I could just take anybody could take your first name and your last name, create a personal email address, and request personal information about you from us. So we cannot divulge personal information if it's a non-verified email address. Okay. Let's say someone wants to mess with you, they would just create a personal email ID and send me an email. Professor, what were my grades in this class or in that quiz or in that exam or whatever? Or might just say, hey, I want to drop out of this class. So we cannot do that if it's a personal email address. Okay, use your official verified Cal Poly IDs, not just with me, with everybody at Cal Poly. My office is in Engineering East. Engineering East is building 20, which, as some professors like to say, it's the geographic center of the campus, which is right here, shape of an E. We are right here, agriculture building. My office is right here in this corner. It's an office space in a big lab room. The room is as big as this, and my office space is at one end of the wall. And it's in the corner of this building, so I'm easy to find. Okay. Will be transitioning from this space to another space in the same building. So room 131, and I might move to room 117. But again, I will let you know, and I will make the changes on the website. But that's where I'm located for now. My office is a safe place and a safe space for all students, irrespective of their backgrounds. You can stop by anytime. We are mandated reporters, so if you do divulge some personal information by law, I do have to report some of it if it rises to the level of, well, law enforcement. Okay. Other than that, everything that you speak to professors is private. Think of it like attorney-client privilege. We don't talk, even with other professors, we do not talk about a student's personal information with other professors. Office hours, I have an open door policy. I'm available on demand 7 days a week, anytime you want, even Saturdays and Sundays. If I'm free and available, I will meet with you. Okay. Here's my schedule. The times listed as office hours, I am guaranteed to be in my office, unless, of course, something is going on and I inform you in advance. It's like, hey, I'm going to be out today and I won't be available during office hours. But for the most part, I will always be in my office during these times. I'm also available to students outside of these times, hence the olive green sections that you see here. If you want to see me, send me an email, send me a message, say, hey, professor, I have a question. I'm going to stop by and I will let you know. Hey, yeah, I'm available. Come on over. Okay. I'm also available via Zoom 7 days a week. I just do not log onto Zoom until a student tells me that, hey, professor, let's meet on Zoom. Okay. Even during official office hours time, if you want to meet me via Zoom, that's fine. But you need to let me know, because I will not log on to Zoom. Zoom will kick me off after 40 minutes of inactivity. So I'm doing other work and the windows in the background. If someone logs on, I would have no way of knowing that somebody is logged on. So you can get in touch with me in person or via Zoom. Just let me know that you wish to meet with me. Sounds good? All right. Any questions so far? All right. Course information. All right. This course is not designed by us. This course is designed by your departments. Okay. Your departments, they all came together and they tell us, that this is what we need you to teach our students. And so the syllabus, the course material, everything is designed by your departments. Mostly it's mechanical, but I have students from industrial, bioresource, agricultural engineering, civil engineers. Also had, let's see, biomed students in the past, industrial engineers, but mostly it's like mechanical and biomed. This class is not meant for EE students. Okay, this is only for non-EE students, and everything in this class is again what your departments tell us that they want your students to learn. Okay, this is a multimodal and multi-level course. When I say multimodal, you are in person here. I'm also broadcasting live on Zoom, so you can take it online. The lecture videos are recorded. Only the shared screen, which is this screen, is being recorded. There's no cameras being recorded. And it's posted online. The students have the option of choosing to attend class in person, or you can choose to attend it online. You can choose to not attend at all and just simply watch the lecture videos. That's absolutely fine with me. You are all adults. You are in charge of your own education. You decide what works best for you. You do not need to take my permission to attend online or asynchronous. I do not take attendance. Okay, attendance is not mandatory. As long as you accomplish the work that is set forth, I just grade you based on the work that you are doing. So again, you choose to attend in person, you choose to attend online, or you choose to not attend at all, simply watch the lecture videos, or even not watch the lecture videos. That's fine with me. I'm not going to keep track, right? Complete flexibility on your part. You do not have to seek my permission. It is already built into the course structure. Sounds good? You could attend class on Monday and Wednesday, and then Friday decide that you don't want to come to class. You just see it online. That's absolutely fine. Everything in this class can be accomplished online. Homework, attending class, quizzes, except for the final exam. Final exam does not have an online option. It is solely in person. Everything else can be done online. But I will be here in this class every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 to 12. Sounds good? Continuing on that theme, you can walk into class and walk out of class anytime you want. Okay, again, you don't need to ask my permission. You don't have to notify me. Whatever your reasons are, as long as you're not disturbing the class, you can walk in and out anytime you want. You can walk, you can, if you need a place to sleep, come into class, doze off in the corner, that's fine. I'm not going to be offended. Okay, if you want to eat and drink, that's fine. Liquids, I would strongly suggest keep it on the floor. Don't keep it on the desk. Simple reason is if you spill something and it goes into your electronic devices, that device is toast. Now, oftentimes it happens. You spill coffee on a keyboard, your laptop keeps working fine. That's okay. You caught a lucky break. But liquids and electronics don't mix. Tiny drop of water going in small crack is going to, render your expensive device into a piece of brick. So keep your liquids off your desk, away from your electronic devices on the floor. If you're going to eat, that's absolutely fine. Just don't make a mess. We are governed by rules that are set by Cal Poly. If there's a mess somewhere in here, if you spill a liquid, they're going to come after me saying, how did I allow permission to students? I probably shouldn't be recording that. But again, eat or drink is fine, unless you bring a bag of chips and make some noise. Don't do that. Or if you do, share some with me because I'm always hungry. Okay. So again, you're not going to offend me. You can walk in and out anytime you want. You don't need to take permission. As long as you're not disturbing the class, feel free to do whatever you wish. Let's see, what else? Again, class meets from 11 to 12. But if you wish to attend a 9 o'clock class, let's say you might have somewhere to go at 11 o'clock one week. You wish to attend it in person or online, like 9 a.m. class online, absolutely fine. You don't need to, again, ask my permission for that. If you do want to come in the 9 o'clock class in person or a 10 o'clock class in person, I was going to say you might need to contact, but there are plenty of spaces even in the 9 and 10 a.m. class. I think the class limit is 38 students, but there are more than 38 physical seats in here. So again, as long as seats are available, I have no issues with students coming in anytime they want. Okay. All class material is delivered via class notebook, OneNote. How many of you have used OneNote before? Good. It's a very powerful piece of software, especially for college students. It keeps everything in track and organized. One added benefit that I have is not benefit, sorry. One piece of feature that I use is their class notebook. What happens is I use this tablet right here that is connected and projected on the screen. And then all my slides are already uploaded on the website, right? You've seen those PDFs on from the front page. In addition, I've installed those on the OneNote class notebook. And the way I teach is I make annotations on the writing tablet in real time. You can see those on here. They're also broadcast on Zoom, so you can see those. The class notebook feature, when you log in and you link your accounts to the class notebook, you will be able to see the annotations that I make at your end in real time. So let's say I was going to write some, I can't do that right now because it's not installed. But if you're teaching a problem, I write down some notes on there, calculations, solving problems and everything. Within a few seconds, it'll appear at your end. Okay. I don't believe students are able to write on top of that, but students can write next to it in a separate page. So that way it frees you up from actually taking notes if you don't wish to. So you can simply listen to the lecture. So that's one feature that I really like. Students have access to my real-time annotations in real time at your end. So on the syllabus, I've said, all students are required to install. But again, the students are required to install OneNote on the computers. It's a free software. I would strongly urge you to actually go ahead and do that. Okay, whether it's your tablet, whether it's your laptop, whether it's whatever computer you're using, go ahead and link your accounts, and you'll be able to access the class notes directly. Was there a question? Okay. All right. Lecture videos. All lecture meetings are recorded and posted online. Online is mostly YouTube. All videos will have English language captions. Only my shared screen is recorded. I don't record any cameras. I don't record anything else. Whatever you see on the screen here is the only thing that's being recorded, plus my voice. And you can access lecture videos here. It's also linked directly from the front page. And the sections 2, 3, and 4. You can, all three of them are pretty much the same for the most part. So if you wish to check out the other sections, it's absolutely fine. There's no password or anything on there. It's simply a public link. All right, course goals and learning outcomes. These are standard ABET syllabus, and so I cannot deviate from that. This is, again, department mandated. So this course will give the non-EE student an understanding of the fundamental principles of electrical engineering, as well as aid in their preparation for the fundamentals of engineering examination. If you wish to become a licensed professional engineer, PE, the first step to getting your license is completing and passing the fundamentals of engineering examination. And one portion of that FE exam is what you're going to learn in this class. Okay, that is one of the purposes of this class. So after completing the course, you'll be able to analyze DC circuits, AC circuits, understand the natural and forced response of RL, RLC, and RLC circuits, just an average power factor, three-phase circuits, and frequency response. Now, I have a lot more other action verbs because understand is subjective, it's not objective. So we do need to change that. But again, as I said, everything is mandated from above. I cannot just unilaterally change, the standard ABET syllabus. And then, of course, we have the major topics that need to be covered in this class. All right. Did everyone get my message about the textbook? Not buying the textbook, right? Okay. There is, however, an access code that needs to be purchased for this class. And when I was a student, anytime I heard this phrase, it would tick me off with some choice curse words, because homework would be no more than 10% of the grade. And it's like 10%, I have to spend like $50, $60 to actually do this. This instructor just doesn't want to grade the work. That's not the case here. For grading, I can hire graders, right? It's not going to take too much of my time. But the way I have structured the course, and I've used this for several years, is I use Pearson's Mastering Engineering website for homework. Okay. When I first set this up, and I was anticipating some negative feedback at the end of the quarter. But most of the feedback had the tone off. Hey, the professor made us purchase, it's an extra cost on top of the thousands of dollars students always pay. So the professor made me purchase this code, but it was worth it. And so I promise you this, it'll be worth it to you in terms of your learning, the knowledge that you would acquire, as well as your grades. Okay, everything in my class is geared towards the benefit of the student. When I say benefit of the student, I do not mean freebies. Okay. What I mean is, if you do the work that is set forth, you will get credit for the work that you're doing, and you'll be rewarded for the knowledge that you acquire. Okay. Homework is set as 40% of your overall grade. 40%. So if you take my class, let's bring this up. Homework counts for 40% of your overall grade. Quizzes count for 40% of your grade. Final exam counts for 20%. There are no midterms. Okay? There are no midterms. The work is distributed evenly throughout the quarter. Okay. We'll take quizzes every Monday. I will talk about quiz just a little bit once we get done with the homework. Homework is split in two parts. One is the online system, the Mastering Engineering. The second portion I implemented in the last year and a half that I was teaching. And there's a reason for that. So there are some students that I came to know about. I could not prove it, of course, but they would simply take the solutions and just enter the numbers online, which is, I'm not the academic police. I don't really care what you do, because students are the ones who are paying the money for acquiring this knowledge and for degree stamp. But as a way of leveling the playing field, let's put it that way, I introduced and split the homework into two different parts. So instead of just being 40%, I split into two parts, which is 30 and 10. So the online system would be 30, and the other 10% is your homework that you would scan and upload on Canvas. Now, this consists of the actual work that you would do. So if you were doing a normal paper-based assignment, you would take your pen and paper or tablet and stylus, and you would write out of your work, right? You would solve and show me the steps. So you would do that with Pearson's online system also. Otherwise, how would you learn, right? Make sense? So you would take pen and paper, you would have your tablet and stylus, you would work out the problems. Doesn't have to be neat. It could be just, it should just be legible. Okay. I'm not looking for formatting in these scan and upload homeworks. It could just be some scribbles, but you need to show the work that you did to arrive at the answer. Make sense? And then you simply scan that and you upload on Canvas. And you will earn the full 10%. As easy as that. Okay. That work is not graded. This work is graded. By graded, as in, I'm not going to go through step by step looking for errors in there, because the system will automatically do that. Does that make sense? What I would be looking for is a good faith effort that the student actually knows and has done all the steps to arrive at that solution. If it's a true or false question, you do not need to write anything out. Simply write the problem number and TNF. That's it. You don't have to write anything out, because everything would be taken care of on the online system. So again, the homework together counts for 40% of your overall grade. 10% of that is scanning and uploading your work. As long as you show me that you've done the work, you earn the full 10%. No point deduction. Flat 10% is done. Homework. Let's go into detail. In each of these links, you should go and read each and every line of this, okay? For all of them. All homework assignments are totaled into one big chunk. I think it's 447 points. 20 homework assignments spread throughout the quarter. A lot of it is actually just a recap from physics. So again, we need to brush up from what you learned in the past, like resistive circuit analysis, series parallel, voltage current, stuff like that. So some homework assignments are very easy. The first one that is due this Friday is probably like 10 or 15 minutes. Shouldn't take longer than that. Simple 4 questions. You just have to answer and you're done. Homework has a due date. All homework is due at midnight on the due date, 11:59 p.m. So 1 minute shy of midnight. Late homework is accepted. Okay. Late homework is accepted. The system is not going to cut you off. However, there is a penalty of 10% of your earned credit for every day after the due date. So every day that you're late, 10% is going to be deducted. But late is accepted. I would say do not be late, but life happens. And so once in a while, if you are late, you're not going to be, it's not completely zero. You just lose 10%. But I would strongly urge you to keep up with the work, because unless you keep up with the work, you will not be able to earn a good grade in the class. And as I said, homework counts for 40%. It's a massive chunk. If you do the work diligently, it's easy to get a good grade in the class. Conversely, if you don't do the homework, it's impossible to earn a good grade in the class. Second thing, all problems or all questions have the max limit of 30 attempts. You can keep answering the problem until you get it right. For every attempt, you lose 3%. It's not a lot, just a little bit. So if you do get the answer right on your 30th attempt, you lose 90%. But I've never seen a student go more than 10. I don't think if you're going more than 10 attempts and you don't have the right answer, something else is wrong in the system or something else is wrong in the answer. You get in touch with me and we'll figure it out. Okay. So again, it's geared to the benefit of the students. When I say benefit, again, I want to make sure that students learn. Okay. If you get it wrong, don't just get the answer from somewhere else. Try to figure out what you're doing wrong or where you might have made an error and get it right. So the system is geared such that I want students to learn. I want students to acquire the knowledge. I want students to actually get the benefit of the system. Okay. And once you do, you also get rewarded in your grades. Okay. So as I said, I make it worthwhile for each and every student to actually use the system. All right. Any questions? One thing about the due dates is that everything in life has an expiration date, whether it's food, project reports, everything. Okay. The first homework, as I said, takes about 10 minutes to get done. Let's say 15 minutes. So class ends at 12. I can set the deadline or due date for that homework at 12:30. Like 15 minutes, right? You can get it done in 12:30. That's not how life works, right? You add in, like maybe students need to take a break, lunch break, need to go to work. You might not be able to get back until 9 p.m. to actually get the homework done. So the due dates, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, whatever the length of time is. Once we cover the topic in class, the homework is considered assigned. All homework assignments are available right now. Somebody could sit there for 3 days straight and complete all homework assignments. Okay, they're all available right now. What I'm saying is, if a topic is covered in class, assume that the homework has been assigned. Okay, and then there will be a due date. The due dates are going to shift a little bit just because we have 2 Mondays that are off. You have the strike that is coming up. There's lots of things. There are lots of variables in here. So the due dates will change a little bit. But because of the Canvas integration, they will show up on your Canvas calendar. Okay, so it is up to students need to be responsible enough to actually track when the due dates are. Anyway, whether the due date is 3 days or 4 days or 5 days, all homework is due at midnight on the due date. Do not wait until 11:30 p.m. at night to begin your homework assignment. Okay, the 3 days time or the 4 days time that I've given as due date, it incorporates your relaxation time, your class schedules, your work time, your family commitments, your chilling out period. Everything is built into it. Internet outages, system maintenance, everything. Okay, so do not wait until 11:30 p.m. because I've had students who have done that in the past. 11:30 p.m. student sent me an email. I just began my assignment and the system is down for maintenance. I was like, I gave you 4 days time to get this done. The system outage was built into that 4 days. Does that make sense? Right? So do not wait. And again, this is good advice, not just from my class. It's good advice for life, professional careers, personal, everything. All right, let's see. That's the homework. Quizzes. Every Monday we have a quiz. It's a weekly quiz that's spread throughout the quarter. And guess what today is? Anyone up for a quiz? Nah, just kidding. We'll start next Monday. Next Monday is a holiday. The Tuesday is going to be the Monday schedule. So we'll meet on Tuesday of next week. That's when we'll have our first quiz. Typically, I would try to go a quiz every week. Depends on the quarter. This quarter, we'll lose one Monday. And then there's the strike week. I don't know what I'm going to do about the strike yet. But again, so we might lose 2 Mondays. So expect anywhere between 7 and 9 quizzes. I think 6 quizzes equal about 2 midterms in terms of time, in terms of points. So when we do 7 or 9, it's pretty great for the students, actually. You get to learn a lot more, but it's distributed. So you don't have that pressure of like studying for a midterm. You study a topic for a week, you do the quiz, and I found, and students have told me that they retain the material much better than if they were doing just a midterm. Quizzes can be taken in person, can be taken online. Okay, if you're doing online, there are separate rules. You would have to actually keep your camera on for proctoring purposes, focus it on your work, and nothing is being recorded. But as long as I don't see you talking to someone or extra clicks of the mouse or textbook being open, you're fine for online also. Again, if you choose to go online, you don't have to take my permission. You can just go online anytime you want. In person is obviously better for you and me, but again, online is an option. It's a flexible option. Again, you can do everything in this class online except for the final exam. Now, when we do the quiz, let's say it's a 15-minute quiz. We start at 11:10 a.m. 15 minutes is 11:25. We stop working at 11:25, whether you are in person or online. You stop at 11:25 or whenever I say the end of the quiz is. Then 5 minutes after that is provided as time for students to scan and upload to Canvas. So even if you take the quiz online, in person, you will scan your quiz as one single PDF along with your equation sheet, and you would upload to Canvas. So those 5 minutes after the quiz ends are provided for scanning and uploading. Okay. Again, read through at night when you have trouble falling asleep, open up the syllabus and go through. A guarantee 5 minutes later, you'll be asleep. But in all seriousness, you need to read through all of these rules. Shouldn't take much longer. All right, any questions? Quizzes, assignments, final exam is already on the website. There's flexibility in final. Oh, by the way, everything in this class is mandatory. Nothing is optional. I forgot to talk about extra credit. So homework has tons of extra credit built in. I have a line in there which says this is a multi-level course. The multi-level comes into what we do in class. But if you need to do some basic fundamentals from before this class, as in like from your physics class, then there are tutorials and videos that are built into the mastering engineering system that I have incorporated. And those are all extra credit. And none of the extra credit that you earn in the class goes to waste. you take, let's say, homework number 1. Homework number 1, I don't know, maybe it's worth 15 points or so, and there's about 2 points of extra credit in there. So potentially you could earn 17 points. Okay. If you lose, let's say if you lose 1 or 2 points, your score goes down, but the extra credit brings it back up again. If you are correct in all your answers, you earn extra over and above. So you might earn 17 out of 15. That extra 2 points gets carried over from the homework category and goes carried over all the way to the end, meaning anything that you earn in your homework category total is applied towards your final grade. So if you earned extra from your homework and you lost a few in your quizzes, this extra is going to bring you back up to 100%. Okay, so when I say I make it worth your while, it truly is worth your while. Okay. Extra credit is built in each and every homework problem. There is also advanced level topics, meaning something that is beyond the scope of this class, that is beyond the scope of the time that we have. Some students do like to delve into advanced level topics. So if you do wish to do that, there are extra credit for that too. Okay, so it's multi-level. And if you do the extra work, you get rewarded with extra credit. Let's see. That's the homework extra credit. Grading system is standard A through F plus minus grading scheme that is implemented by Cal Poly. I follow that one. There is no curve just because the curve is built in with all the extra credit. Everything is mandatory, nothing is optional. If you choose not to take the final exam, or if you choose not to take like one of the quizzes, then you simply don't earn points for that. That's all. You might say, hey, I don't want to do homework 17. I have enough extra credit, which is fine. It's up to you. Okay. Final exam is what, 20%. So if you don't take the final exam, you lose that 20%, but it's not a failing grade. I don't fail students ever in the sense for not taking the final. Okay. If you do the work, I have no problem awarding everyone an A. So I'm not like, okay, I only give A's to top 5 students in the class. No. If you all earn above 93%, everyone will get an A. I have no problem with that. So you need to do the work, you keep up with the work, you do the quizzes, do the extra credit problems if you wish, and you will have a good grade at the end of the class. More importantly, I would put each and every one of my students against anybody else saying that, hey, my student knows this topic. You can ask them whatever you want. Okay. That's what each one of my students should feel when they leave my class at the end of the quarter. So one final thing, actually two things. One is about the final exam. Final exam is the only thing in this class that you cannot do online. Okay, everything else you can do online. You can attend class online, you can do the homework online, you can do the quizzes online. Final exam is non-negotiable, no option of taking it online. Okay, everything is on there, all the topics, all the information, everything. There's a survey that you need to fill out because there are 4 options for you to take the final. You can take the final at your designated time, which is Friday from 10 to 1, which is basically the last day of finals week. And most of the students are already in like get out of San Luis Obispo mode. So if you wish to take the exam on the Wednesday, you let me know. As long as there's physical space in the classroom, I have no issues with students coming on the Wednesday, right? It's first come, first serve. Also, the Saturday before finals week is the preferred option for many students. So we have the last week of classes, we have the last day of class on a Friday. This is mostly like revision and everything. And then the Saturday after that Friday is the Saturday before finals week. A lot of my students choose to take that final. All the finals are, are similar. Levels do not change. The questions and the problems might change, but they're pretty similar. So again, read through everything, decide what option you want to do. You have the entire quarter to decide what you wish to do. But if you do decide that you want to take the final on, on a not on the Friday, you let me know as soon as possible by filling out the survey at the end of the page. Again, there are 4 options. You choose what works for you. All right. One last thing. Oh, come on, there's the reopen. Assignments and grading, attendance, participation, late work. I think we already covered this. Course is live and synchronous. Attendance is important, but I'm not the attendance police. I don't take attendance. You can choose to attend class in person, online, offline, however you want. First week participation, late work is accepted. Late or missed exams are not permitted except by Cal Poly's attendance policies. Okay, so I've had students in the past who have had like medical emergencies, family emergencies, and so they could not take the final on their date. And so I work with the registrar's office. We all sign a form and they get an incomplete and they come back later and take the final exam. Okay, so if that happens, you let me know as soon as possible. Quizzes, again, are fixed on Mondays, but if you know in advance that you're going to be out for a conference or for whatever reason, then you let me know in advance. Okay, I would have to design a separate quiz. And the Canvas grading system is a whole different level of, well, there's some work involved. Let me just put it that way. So if you know that you won't be able to take a quiz, get in touch with me as soon as possible, and I'll make, we'll make other arrangements. Let's see. Instructor evaluations. These are extra credit. Okay, there are official as well as unofficial evaluations in this class. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about today. So you're all familiar with the official evaluation, right? You do at the end of the quarter. The professors, has any professor ever shown you the screen that we see at our end? It's not going to come up until like the 9th week. And I'll show it to you. All we see is the number of responses. So there are 38 students in the class. All we see is like 0 of 38 students have submitted evaluation. And the number goes up obviously for the entire week. So, 1 of 38, 3 of 38, so on and so forth. So, was there any question? Okay, I thought somebody asked something. So all we see are anonymous numbers. That's all. We don't even get those evaluations back until the first week of the following quarter. So you would fill out the evaluations in week 10. Then we do finals week. We submit the grades. Then there's spring break. And then the first week of spring quarter is when we receive the evaluations back. The only thing we can see in there are responses. Okay. And I'll try and remember to show some of those evaluations next time. It's just comments and numbers. So in return, so this is extra work. That's not part of the class, right? So what I do is I provide an extra incentive. I provide extra credit in the amount of the response rate. Since we have no way of knowing who has filled out the evaluations, which would again be illegal to do so, what I do is I offer every student, it applies to every student, obviously, extra credit in the amount of the response rate. So if all 38 students submit the evaluations, I would see 38 of 38. That's 100% response rate. Every student in the class gets 1 extra point awarded directly to their final grade. And so if you earn an 89 at the end of the quarter, that 89 is bumped up to 90. If 19 of 38 students submit an evaluation, that's a 50% response rate, you get 0.5%. Or not 0.5%, 0.5 points towards your final grade. So again, I won't say anything further about that. It's all up to you to make sure that the response rate is high. Okay, these are important to us. It's very important. These go into our official Cal Poly employee files. Okay, you might not know about it because you probably don't hear about it, but every negative evaluation, every positive evaluation is looked at, and administration then, looks at it. One final thing, if you need to leave, that's fine. There are unofficial evaluations that I implement in my classes. Let's go into assignments and you'll be able to see. This is simply a Google form. And it's simply based, the questions are simply based off of the official evaluations. Okay. These are just meant for you and me. These are not reported to Cal Poly. This is for me to know how I'm doing in class and if a course correction is required, right? So there are 38 individual personalities in this class. Some of the things I do might work for you, some of them might not. So this form is kind of the middleman. It's an ombudsman between you and me. It's a Google form. It's anonymous. There's no space here to put down your name or information. Again, it's completely anonymous. I have no idea who's filling it out. You can write positive, negative. You can write "you suck" on there, but let me know why I suck. Okay. So if something is not working for you, I can do a course correction while the quarter is going on, not at the end of the next quarter. Make sense? 9 weeks, you attend class Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Saturday by midnight every week is going to pop up on your Canvas calendar. You can fill it out anytime. There's no, it's going to be open all quarter. So 9 weeks, 9 evaluations, 9 times 38. I'll average it out. Whatever the number or response rate comes to be, I'll factor in, and you get credit up to a max of 2%. So 2% for the week evaluations and 1% for the official evaluations. You have every student can earn up to 3%, depending on how many students submit the evaluations. Okay, 3% is massive. It can, well, if it's 100%, which has never happened, it can bump you up a whole plus minus letter grade. All right, we'll end here. If you have any questions, I'll be in my office. Stop by anytime you want. Send me an email, send me a message, and I'll see you on Wednesday.